Hey, how's it going? So MBS just partnered with X-Way to create a powerful electric mountain board, and it's got some really interesting specs and some not so interesting prices. So let's get into it. It's available in 4 options. The board's name is called Agent. So the first one is called Agent Air. It's the cheapest option. It's bare bones. And the second one is Agent Explorer. Has the best upgrade in my opinion. And then the Agent 4-wheel drive, which is just basically the Explorer but dual drive. And that one's the most expensive at more than $4,000. And also you can kind of build your own board, build your own combination of it. But let's go over the specs real quick. The board uses an 18S configuration at 75 volts. So today's electric skateboards hover around 40 to 50 volts with their 12S and 14S battery system. But then I think MBS is advertising the maximum voltage of 4.2 volts per cell, which typical e-skate companies don't use. Typical e-skate companies use nominal voltage at 3.6 volts. So if you want to compare that voltage to other boards, this electric skateboard is actually at 64.5 volts instead of the 75 volts, which is kind of like an over exaggeration if you use the maximum voltage. Next, I think the battery configuration may be an 18S 4P configuration, but my math overshoots the battery watt hour by 20 watt hours at 1296 watt hours using Samsung 50S batteries. So I don't know how their math works out, but I do think this is an 18S 4P battery configuration. The only other 18S electric skateboard I know of is LaCroix Lone Star Super Sport and also Kaylee NYC, but both boards are extinct now, so this might be the only 18S configuration on the market. The top speed is 41 miles per hour across the board, and the max power on the 4-wheel drive is 10,600 watts of power. It's got a range of 41 miles. It also uses a top-mounted battery pack that's quick swappable. And also, from the look of the design language and the power button, it does seem like X-Way designed it. It's got the signature X-Way power button because of the LED lights. And also it's got huge 6890 motors. These motors are going to be longer than usual and they're beefier. And also this board uses a gear drive system. On the gear drive it says 15 to 64. Using my middle school math, it comes down to gear ratio of roughly 4.2. So this gear drive is using a 4.2 to 1 gear ratio, and I'm guessing X-Way is the one that designed this as well. It's also using X-Way's Rexus remote, so pretty much a lot of the parts here are actually from X-Way. Don't get me wrong though, X-Way built some excellent quality parts, including the remote. This is one of the best remotes in the industry. It's touchscreen, it's color screen. I love this remote, no problem with it. The next one is that this board uses MBS Matrix 3 trucks. I just did a review on these trucks on my Prometheus review, so go check it out. These are excellent off-road trucks, and also apparently good for carving as well. Also, it has the option for a premium binding with base plates. These are like snowboarding base plates. This setup will help you position your feet at any angle you want, which is really good. But it's also expensive. It's like $200. Next, it looks like this board is using a flexible deck. Nothing wrong with that. Mountain boards should have flexible decks. It also looks like they're using the MBS Rockstar hubs. You get the wide hubs as you go up in the price tier. The deck is 102 centimeters long and 28 centimeters wide, so that's about 11 inches wide. So basically pretty standard stuff. And it also has an app with over-the-air updates. This is something I think most modern electric skateboards are missing, is that once they're out of the factory, they cannot receive any firmware updates. But with this one, it's good because the manufacturer can keep updating the electric skateboard with firmwares. And also there's a 60 watt port to charge your phone with, on your battery, so you can reverse charge your phone, reverse charge anything you want with the battery system. It also does have a very small inconsequential LED system at the rear and near on the ESC, and it uses 8-inch wheels, some narrower, some thicker, depending on the price of the board. I mean, I was really excited about this board because it looks really good, and I love all the premium features that this board brings. But this does look like an ultra premium board. The most expensive 4-wheel drive version is around $4,400, I think, and the cheaper version is like $3,300. Yeah, so the most expensive version is $4,400 prior to tax and shipping, and then the Explorer, which is the middle option, is $3,400, and the cheapest version is $2,700. Maybe this is the best mountain board ever made, but if you look at the specs of this $2,700 board, it's only got a battery of 544 watt hours. It's pretty light, but also the specs are not there. For 500 watt hour boards, there's $500 or $600 electric skateboards that have this kind of capacity. The only thing that's redeeming about this is kind of like just build quality and the high voltage system that this board is using. If you're already spending $2,700, I would just eat the cost and spend $700 more to upgrade to the next one, which is Explorer. Explorer doubles your battery capacity, gives you the $200 premium binding, and gives you the premium wheels and tires. I think this setup is probably the best one to go with in terms of value. And it has the best range too, because the 4-wheel drive just have a lower range. But there are something that we also don't know about, which is the ESC amps. The amps on the ESC usually determines what kind of torque this board has, right? Voltage is more about top speed, which I don't care with this board. I care about the amount of torque. Usually if it's more than 100 amps, it should be more than enough for anyone, but I really want to see what kind of amps this ESC would facilitate. And also, we don't know what kind of cells this is being used. I used Samsung 50S cells as a kind of placeholder, but when I use the Samsung 50S cell as a placeholder, my math in terms of battery capacity just don't work out the way that it's using. I think they're using kind of kilowatts in power, they're using maximum voltage, which is similar to e-bikes specs. I think they're more tailoring this to kind of not the skateboarders, but they're trying to upsell this product to e-bikers, like people who has a Talaria, people who have a Suron, and they want these people to buy the bike because that's what the specs look like it's tailored for. All right, that's all I have the time for. Please let me know what you think of this board, and I'll see you on the next time.